Hey guys, Molong here, and I'm excited because we're going to take a look at Lakka running on the Raspberry Pi 4. And this is a Linux-based retro gaming operating system, and it boots right into RetroArch, and it's incredibly functional as well as mostly pretty user-friendly. For instance, if you're using Lakka, you don't even have to button map most of your controllers. They just work out of the box. And that's unlike on Recalbox, Batocera, and RetroPie, where you are going to have to button map your controllers. It's also pretty easy to install various emulators and download those cores. But I do think it at times can be kind of overwhelming for beginners just because there are so many different options that you can pick from. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, of course, is download the Lakka image itself. So normally what you can do is just go to Get Lakka, pick what host operating system you're using. So I'm on a Windows PC, so I'd hit Windows, and then go through and find your board. But right now, there's an internal error that deleted all of Lakka's images from its servers. So you're going to have to use the nightlies. I've already got my image downloaded, but what you're going to want to do is just go here under the nightlies, select the most recent date, find the board that you're using, and in this case, that's the Raspberry Pi 4. So what I'm going to do, since I have it downloaded, is go here under my downloads directory. It is a tar file, so you might need to decompress this with a program like 7-Zip. Or you might be able just to mount it straight to your micro SD card. So I'm going to go ahead and extract that image file. Since it is a noob's installation, what you're going to want to do is just drag and drop that folder onto your micro SD card. So go ahead and drop it on your micro SD card. You're going to need to make sure, though, that these files are on the root of your SD card. Okay, so now what we're going to need to do is pop this into our Raspberry Pi 4 and boot it up. All right, here we are in Lakka running on the Raspberry Pi 4. So if you've ever used RetroArch, you'll notice it's basically the exact same interface. And I really like it. It kind of reminds me of the XMB found on the PlayStation 3, which is forever one of my favorite consoles. I'm currently using a wireless Xbox 360 controller, and it works out of the box. I didn't have to button map or anything like that. Go over here to our settings menu. Go down to Wi-Fi. And select that. Now, go down to your Wi-Fi network and enter your password. So I'm just going to fire up a Super Nintendo title here. And this is when I have downloaded. So I'm going to go under Downloads, select my file, and then now you can pick your emulator. So these are all the different Super Nintendo cores. I'm going to go with SNES 9X because I've had a lot of success with that one. And here you go. Alternatively, what you can do instead of loading content is scan directories. So you're going to want to scroll over here, select scan directory, pick an external drive if you're using an external drive, and I'm actually using a 256 gigabyte USB drive with my RetroPie mount folder on it. Now you're going to want to select a folder full of ROMs. And choose scan this directory. And depending on how many ROMs you have and how big they are, this might take a bit of time. So just wait for it to complete. Once scanning is finished, you should be able to back out. And now we can view the different ROMs that we've imported. So I did toggle on the ability to download box art. If you go under Online Updater, on-demand thumbnail downloads, you'll automatically download missing thumbnail images when you browse playlists. Now keep in mind what Lakka does is it uses no intro ROM sets for box art. So sometimes you won't be able to find box art displaying. But if I scroll through these NES ROMs, most of these at least should have box art. And that's something I actually really like, is having the box art display. Same with my SNES games. I'm gonna do a quick test here of Yoshi's Island. A lot of you are going to wonder how N64 games run on the Pi. So let's check out some. I also want to take a look at some PSP performance. As you can see, performance really varies quite a bit based on the specific system you're using, as well as the specific game you're playing. But overall, the Pi 4 really does present a pretty substantial hardware boost over the Pi 3B Plus. And I gotta say, I'm impressed with how Lakka runs on there. In fact, I might begin using Lakka for my main retro gaming build on my Pi 4, as well as start using it more frequently on my Pi 3B Plus, as well as my Rock Pro 64. Well, there's Lakka for you, and I'm pretty pleased with the results. And the great part about this is Lakka is only going to continue to improve, because currently the build of Lakka that I just tested is in alpha. So once some performance is improved, and also just once a lot of those emulators are tweaked for better performance on the Pi 4, we're going to see a lot better performance from different emulators as well as ROMs, and just kind of a better utilization of the Raspberry Pi 4. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming out there.